We are. Oh. Go, baby. Go, baby. Go, baby.
We're drinking pints. We're starting fights. Welcome to the Big Fat Dubs White Knight Bracketologies.
Fella.
We have another banger after banger after banger after banger. Tonight, we're doing top NFL running backs by most rushing yards in NFL history. So, how this list is broken down, we have the top 10 rushing leaders in the NFL history. As they are seated is the actual listing is where they are ranked in the all-time rushing list. Now, for our picks tonight, we're basing it off of if we were to start a roster right now with a football team and we had to pick these running backs, we're given these options, who would we sign?
Great.
So we're not going to base it everything off of, well, stat-wise, this person did this. Because let's face it, it would be Emmitt Smith if that's the case, right? But we're not going to go that way. So as you see here, we have top 10. We have the top 10 list, so it's a little different than most other brackets we've done. So we have two kind of sub-brackets of the 9 and 8 seed and the 7 and 10. They will face the 1 and 2 seed in the next round. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with Eric Dickerson, who I believe was a running back for the Rams. Big-time running back there versus Adrian Peterson. Longevity career with multiple teams, but this, the one we're probably going to talk about the most is the Minnesota Vikings. Adrian Peterson. I'm going to go with Eric Dickerson. This dude was a man.
That
was the epitome of fucking tough running right there.
Yeah.
ADP had a very short-lived career as a star, in my opinion. Then he got injured. He has scandal with his baby.
Yeah. Off the field stuff.
I think if all that stuff never happened, he might have been higher on the list. Dickerson was also he was succeeding in a time when people thrived off of defenses.
He was in that time era where running backs were just the thing back then. They were the powerhouse behind the offense.
Well, not only that though, but defense was also the thing, and he was succeeding in a time when you had top-notch defenses all around.
I mean, he was even before, I think, the Greatest Show on Turf.
I think it was way before that. Yeah.
But he helped set that standard for that Rams offense.
Oh, yeah.
As Big Ten. But I both say...
we're both going on with Eric Dickerson. Next matchup, we have Jerome Bettis, longtime Steelers running back, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 40. Kelly's favorite being the Seattle Seahawks. I will say I was upset about that Super Bowl loss, but I was also happy for Jerome Bettis because I love Jerome. Versus Tony Dorsett, longtime Cowboy, actually the second Cowboy we have on this list. I'm not gonna lie, Tony Dorsett has he has a resume to go off of to put him on this list. However, I'm gonna go with Jerome because I remember watching Jerome and watching him dude was legitimately, his nickname was the Bus. He acted like a goddamn bus. Like, he was very hard to take down. He was a tough runner. I am happy you went out as a champion, Jerome. I wish it wasn't against Seattle, but I think there's no question that you were better than Tony.
Yeah, I mean, the guy literally Bennett should have actually been like a fullback or a freaking lineman or something like that. But him as a running back, I mean, you didn't see something like him as big as he was as a running back.
With great footwork. Like, he had tremendously good footwork for his size.
I mean, the only guy I can think that would have been even close to him would probably have been
Eddie Lacy?
Not Eddie Lacy, fucking Thunder Thighs. Tolbach. Robert Tolbach. I don't know if you remember him from the Carolina Panthers, and I think he also went to the Chargers as well.
Well, Robbie Tolbach. You said Robert Tolbach?
Yeah.
Robbie Tolbach was the center for the Seattle Seahawks.
No,
you're thinking of
Tolbert.
You're thinking of Tolbert. I'm like, Robbie Tolbach. Hold on a second. You're going to have to change his shirt. You're going to put his ass up there. Come on now.
All right, anyway, that's who I meant, Tolbert.
Yeah. No, I know what you meant. I kind of figured when you said Carolina. I was like, I was thinking Tolbert.
Because that guy was a big guy as well, and unfortunately, I think he ended up having some injury issues. But
when you're a big guy, like problem when you're a big.
So I call them thunder thighs.
When you're a big running back, like you're not really shifty. You're more so, I'm just going to run you over. So that was kind of his downfall. Next matchup, going into the actual main bracket now. We are starting with the number 1 seeded on the list, Emmitt Smith versus Eric Dickerson. I'm still going Eric Dickerson because the thing is, though, is that with Emmitt, the team was just so built that you couldn't fail. The Cowboys in that era was so damn built well, you couldn't fail.
Damn right. Yeah.
I feel like, though, if I had Eric Dickerson on here, though, I'm getting a legitimately good running back. Yeah. I don't want to put a bad line in front of him, but if I don't have the best line, he's still going to make plays. Emmitt had the best offensive. Like, people talk about the greatest offensive lines in the history of the NFL. There's the fucking Cowboys.
You're actually making a very strong point for Eric, honestly. You are making a very strong point.
Yeah. That's called you know how I've been playing football for almost 20 years.
Like we said, we're doing this of who we think would be a great one because obviously we don't know who our offensive line is, but if we were to,
Yeah, if we're building a franchise, if you're taking over a franchise, we'll just say Seattle, and you had this list. Honestly, it's hard to get the best offensive line because that's going to be key things. But for me, like, there's no question Emmitt was not a good running back. Emmitt was a great running back. But in my mind, he was great because the offense was so good that it not saying he wasn't deserving of this, but when you have the best offensive line in the history of the NFL in front of you, you're fucking going to kill it.
I'm going to have to go with Eric, too. Plus, I actually like Eric's play style way more.
Oh, yeah.
The way that guy plays more than I do Smith. So, yeah, I'm going with Eric, too.
All right. Eric Dickerson upsets the number 1 seeded Emmitt Smith. Next matchup.
Spoiler!
Next matchup, we have the number 5 seeded Curtis Martin, who longtime New York Jets running back. I think he may have also played somewhere else too, like Miami or something. Could be wrong. Versus Frank Gore, dude who is playing until I think last year,
literally.
But more so, his career was with the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going Gore because dude was a quiet assassin. Unless he played Seattle, then he decided to go off for fucking 235 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same way with Gore. I do remember some about Curtis Martin. I think he was a bit more of a elusive back. But Gore, to me, could do both. I mean, he was a bit more of a power back, but that guy could actually be elusive as well. Also, great out of the backfield for checkdowns and, like I said, screens and stuff. Like I said, anytime he seemed to play, like, even just divisional team, would always have, like, a career against them.
He was a very, very big pivotal point for the Niners Super Bowl runs with the Harbaugh era and everything like that. Next matchup, we have, honestly, in my mind, the 2 best running backs of all time. You have Barry Sanders of the Detroit Lions. If you don't know Barry Sanders, what the fuck are you doing watching this episode? What the fuck are you doing? That's like saying, who's Michael Jordan? Fuck off. All right? Barry Sanders was legitimately one of the fastest, shiftiest, greatest running backs of all time. Probably would have broke all the records had he not retired early. And then you have LaDainian Tomlinson of mostly the San Diego Chargers, who really felt bad for Sean Alexander. So, little history. 2005 or 2006. I think it was 2005.
Both years. No, he broke it the following year after.
Yeah, but 2005, Sean Alexander had set the rushing record for yards and for touchdowns.
Beating Priest Holmes' record.
Beating Priest Holmes' records. LaDainian Tomlinson said, fuck you, next year, very next year, beat the record by 4 touchdowns and a few hundred more yards than Sean Alexander. LaDainian Tomlinson still holds the record for most most total touchdowns in a single season with 31, as well as the rushing touchdown record. I'm sorry, but here's the thing though. I grew up watching LaDainian Tomlinson, and I would love to pick him on here, but Barry Sanders was a fucking cheat code. Shifty, fast. The thing is, and also too, is that he unfortunately retired early because of he didn't want to get injured. Had he been on a different team, you're looking at one of the greatest running backs of all time, breaking all the records. He legitimately was shifty. He was tough. He was one of the very, like, everybody on this list, I'm sorry, you don't stand a chance against Barry Sanders. That's my pick.
I'm sorry. I'm actually have to go with LT.
There's nothing wrong with picking LT.
I love LT. I mean, yes, I hated watching him because, especially with Sean in his heyday when he was going great, and LT was right there on his heels.
So I gotta do this real quick.
So, okay.
I'm gonna do this. So keep talking.
So yeah, I'm going with LT. I loved watching LT. The guy could do anything. The guy was also a good passer as well. Who we got?
LT with the upset.
Yes.
I would normally pick LT, but you gotta pick Barry. Like
you could go either one. I'm sorry, but it happens to line up that way.
You're right. You're right. There's nothing wrong with your pick. It's one of those things though. Like if none of us pick Barry Sanders, there's something wrong with it.
I just like LaDainian Tomlinson because how versatile he is. I mean, the guy can do anything you ask him to. He can run the ball. He can block. He can catch. He can even pass.
Barry Sanders good too.
I think even LT did some punt and kickoff returning as well. So
you don't think Barry Sanders did it either? Barry Sanders was God.
I don't know because I've only seen clips of Barry. I haven't seen
turn your ass back the clock and go watch some Barry Sanders, okay? Nothing wrong with LT moving on. Honestly, you can go either one. I think two of the best running backs are Barry Sanders and LaDainian Tomlinson. So next matchup we have Walter Payton versus Jerome Bettis. I'm gonna go Payton. Like
you gotta go with Payton. You
gotta go with Walter Payton.
You gotta go sweetness here.
You know, the dude was legitimately the best running back for the longest time. You know, and just he is the history of the Chicago Bears. Next matchup we have Eric Dickerson versus Frank Gore. I'm still going with Eric Dickerson because of the fact of what his game is exactly with all these guys. I'm sorry, but you can't beat the toughness, the physicality, the run style of Eric Dickerson. The fact that he was this high on a time when the Rams weren't, at their peak, and Frank Gore, again, you had a great offensive line. You had a great team built around him like that. I don't think Frank Gore is a bad pick. I still would pick Eric Dickerson.
This is tough for me. This is actually
go with what you want. Go with what you want.
I like both. I really do like both of them. I like both their play styles. But yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I'm going with Eric. I could take either. See, I mean, God, I would love to have these guys be my 1-2 punch on my team.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that would be
yeah,
that'd be so nice, Ryan. You have no idea.
All right, next matchup in the semifinal round, we have LT versus Walter Payton. I'm gonna go with the guy that actually knocked out one of my picks, actually win it all. But I was honestly say that he would be the second best running back. I have to go with LT because of the fact that for the records he broke and everything like that, LT was the guy. So that sets up our finals: Eric Dickerson versus LaDainian Tomlinson. My pick is LT because of the fact of the versatility of LaDainian Tomlinson, the records that he's holding, that still is not broken to this date.
Right.
And I love Eric Dickerson and everything like that, but in its sense of longevity career, you're more of a ground and pound where Tomlinson can shifty and all that stuff. There's longer longevity with LT, plus all the records that he's holding, the touchdown record, the rushing yards in a single season record. Like, if you watched his 2006 MVP year, which if I'm not mistaken, he's one of the last, he's the second to last non-quarterback to win MVP. Last one was Adrian Peterson. But LT, like, watching him was something special. And that was with the team that didn't have the best offensive line. I'm going with LaDainian Tomlinson.
That's honestly the best pick. That is honestly the best pick out of all this. So, yes, LT does win this thing. Congratulations. So, before I want to say something right now. Anybody who's new to watching football that hasn't seen any of these running backs, newer generation has not seen any of these running backs, go look these guys up. Watch gameplay of these. Watch flips of any of these running backs. These are great running backs. All different styles. Just it's a history that you should know especially if you're a football fan, in my opinion. LT, like I said, watching him and like you were saying, Sean Alexander, even Priest Holm during those days. Kurt Smartman, I think, was even in that same time.
He was in that run, yeah. Marshall Faulk.
Those guys were just great to watch back then. I mean, you were always looking at the end of the day, who had the better game that week. And even I remember playing the Madden games, in franchise mode. You were hoping that one of them didn't go off in one of your games when you were playing them. They were just literally cheat codes back then. But respect to all these running backs and their careers. But yeah, like it's good to see that. Yeah, there's just not. Besides, Dallas having two guys in here, I'm glad to see that you have guys from different teams that had very successful careers with all these.
Well, you have different careers. You have different eras of football too. Yeah,
different eras of football, different styles, like we said.
Like I said, I mean, everyone can have as their own opinion. And I thought we did everything fair, including the Barry Sanders LT. That was fairness. That was by the wheel, and LT won. So don't hate us for that.
So
it was a fair wheel spin. Kelly's name won. Honestly, you can go with either one. I mean, the thing that hurts Barry is he retired too soon. He retired early.
So, real quick then. We take LT out there, we move Barry on against Peyton. Who do you got?
Oh, Barry wins the whole damn thing.
So you're saying Barry goes on, beats Peyton.
Whoever would have won between the Damian Thomas and Barry Sanders was my pick to win it all.
Okay.
There was no question about that. There's no question about it because the fact of those two, in my mind, were the best running backs because what Barry did and what he left on the table, because he left still in prime mode. He didn't leave off of injuries. Yeah. He didn't leave off of like bad years. He left in prime mode.
And he's still the pride of Detroit to this day.
I mean, you think about this, you guys. He has, of everyone on this list, the shortest career, and he's still the third best running back listed.
And yeah, could you imagine if he would have kept playing?
If
he would have kept playing, he'd probably be number one. Emmett would be number two.
I compare Barry Sanders to Michael Jordan in a sense that these guys were more wanting to win than their own stat line career, but their stat line career is on stuff of legends. So to think about, and so I say this about basketball with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan played 500 less games than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron James. I'm taking those two in consideration because they're 1-2 in the scoring category. So before LeBron James took it over, Michael Jordan was fucking third, and then Kobe beat him, and he dropped to fourth. Jordan sits at number 5. But the thing is, though, is that Jordan retired and again came back. He retired twice, or actually 3 times. Excuse me. Now, and had Jordan. And Jordan even said, had he worried about Kareem's stats, he would have already broken it. And the fact is that if you think about it, he scored, Kareem scored about 38,000 points. Jordan probably had 33,000 with 500 less games. So you mean to tell me that Jordan wouldn't beat Kareem's record? Are you kidding me? Jordan would still hold the record with over 40,000 points. Probably over 45,000 points. Barry Sanders, same thing. He stopped because he didn't want to get hurt. Detroit gave him nothing. Detroit did nothing for him. Think about Barry Sanders. On any other team, any good team, in the career that he was going right now, or if Detroit decided to say, hey, let's build an offensive line, let's build this, that, and the other. Again, Barry Sanders would have fucking stayed, broke all the records. There would have been no question Barry Sanders would have won. But unfortunately, it is what it is. The wheel spin was right. The wheel spin picked the winner. You could have gone either way. Because again, the thing is that we didn't grow up with Barry Sanders. We grew up with Damian Thompson.
Yep.
And LT for us was the Barry Sanders for us. And again, You're talking about two players that everyone on this list, they had great offensive lines. Except for Barry Sanders and Damian Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at all this, I think we got to see what's at the end of his career. We got CLT at the prime of his career toward the end.
Gore.
Bennis, we got the end of his career. We never got to see Sanders. We never got to see Payton. I think Dickerson we just missed.
We just missed Dickerson.
Because we had the Falk.
We had Falk era.
We had Falk era.
We watched ADP. We watched.
I'm just going off of when I actually started like.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is we were there for ADP, watching the whole thing. We were there for Curtis Martin about halfway through the career. We were there for Frank Gore majority of the career. We missed Sanders. We caught the end of the Cowboys era with Emmitt Smith, and the Cardinals era, which was trash. Dickerson, we were late to be on. Tony Dorsett, way late. Walter Payton, not even there.
Right.
Not even a twinkle in our dad's eyes. LT, we were there for. So, for us, and again, too, we talked about, like, who would we want as a running back on our team, and there's no question about it. LT was the most versatile guy on this roster outside of, again, my pick, Barry Sanders. You could have gone with either one. You could have gone with anybody. You have your own picks, people. You have your own picks. You can pick whoever you want.
Ooh. Good do. I still have it. Add an 07. Fire that up and we get to play with Sean Alexander and LT. That'd be fun.
That's some old school shit right there.
I know, that's what I'm saying though. That'd be fun.
All right, guys. Thank you again for tuning in to this episode. Very short, but it was kind of fun and everything like that. We have another football coming your way very soon. I think we talked about doing quarterbacks in the near future. We have one more we're gonna be doing tonight. So check out other ones. We just did a best Mariners pitcher one. We are gonna do a surprise one. We'll show you guys in a little bit for that one. Check out other stuff check out our other brackets we've done. We've done best superhero movie. We did best 90s cartoon. We also did best Avatar Last Airbender character, and we also did one for kind of desserts. You don't watch that one.
We're gonna
redo that one. If you want to watch it, that's fine. But it was kind of one that we just found and everything like that before we actually made this. We made brackets and everything like that. So tune in for other stuff. We have some other stuff. We have our Mario Mondays, and we also have some movie reviews and everything like that. We have some movie reviews coming up along the way. Kelly, you got anything?
No, that's about it. You'll probably either see this on Sunday or on Tuesday. As like Ryan said, we had just done a Seattle Mariners baseball one that will be coming out on Saturday. And then like I said, we'll have one more bracket here coming up, but I don't want to spoil what that one is. So stay for that. That will come out here next week, either on Wednesday or Thursday.
Also, you guys, check out for some live feed and stuff like that on Sunday. Kelly and I will be at Gabriel Iglesias comedy show in the Muckleshoot Casino on Sunday. Yeah, Muckleteak. So we'll be down in Sunday, so you may see some shorts, you may see some clips of the show. If obviously permitted, I don't see why not, but obviously permitted, we'll try to put up as much as we can. And thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll send it off with Kelly doing the infamous
a commie and a homie and send it home to mommy. Okay, I'm sorry. That one actually was too quick. I actually wanted to do it one time to see how it felt, and it feels way too quick.
You could have just ended there. We could have talked about that afterward. We could have just ended it.
No, I actually want to see it. I actually want to see your reaction. Your actual live reaction. See what
you caught me by surprise. Okay, I wasn't set up. Okay, I wasn't
exactly. You know, that's what I was wondering. I threw him off one time with it because I've been doing it slow.
You know what? You deserve it this one time because you fucked my timing up. Okay, Kelly Irwin. Fuck you.
I deserve it. What can I say? But we'll do it properly.
We'll do it properly. We got to give you people the right thing.
So, a do-over, a kame, and a hame. Send them home to mommy. Thank you guys all very much. Stay tuned for the next one. See you then.
Bye.